Okay, so manage test sessions. After you log in, find students to test history search, and then you're going to find El Camino under that, and then grade 9, all instructors, and then you're going to click not yet tested and suspended test. And for English, for reading, select it, then you just hit search. And it'll bring up every 9th grader.
So we did math first.
Right. Oh, okay. But for English, you can, right here, you can hit search. For math, because you don't test freshmen who are in like geometry, you go through and you click the math test. And then you go down to IM1. And make sure you select the IM1, not the support, but the IM1. And you start with period 1. There. And then you would click search.
So I have to do each period.
Okay. And then there's 2 in this period. You add those students. Okay, and they show up here. So then I click here, and if I hold down, it's on the one I just was. I move down 1. And then I click search. Right? Add students. And then it pushes them down here. And you just repeat that all the way. Oops, wrong one. You repeat that all the way down, and then you'll have your list, right? And it looks like it's going to be, 50, 75 students, that have a couple left to do or whatever, or we're absent.
Well, hopefully some of them are finishing today, so
right.
So then how do I print this, or how do I, because I got to send out passes.
Sure. So then, let's see, if I go to, let's do another tab. I go to portal. We already created a spreadsheet for that, so I'll just share it with you. Let's see, and it's map. So let me do this. Alright, so I created a new sheet, and then I'm gonna okay. So let's do, I'll just rename this to day 1. And then, if I can select all these. Okay. Anyway, I made a day 1. So here then, you're going to go back to this, right? And I usually, because it's this stuff, I usually open up a throwaway sheet, copy and paste those into there, delete the columns I don't want, and then when I go back to my makeup sheet, I put the names and the ID, so I just put the first 3 columns, right, all the way down, and then you share this with Jane. So she's Jane's. That's Jane Smith. Sarah. All right. So yeah. So this is, and if you can download it and make it your own, so it's not in your shared with me folder. You can just move it to your own. So when the kids show up, and I usually wrote what tests they had to make up there.
Okay.
So I would, after you populate their names and ID, when you did your math one, I'd write math because kids will have both. And so after you create it, then you can sort it together, and then you pull the kid once, and you hold them, and they finish their math. Maybe it's like 2 questions, and then they have to do their English. And so you can make a new session for them for English.
So you didn't separate out and pull the math people and then pull the English people later?
Ideally, well, sometimes we did and sometimes we didn't. It depends on what happened. At the end, like when I got it figured out, I didn't. Because I just wanted the kid to be pulled once. Instead of pulling first period, because I had first and second that I would pull them. And so I'd pull them out for first period. And then I'd pull them out for first period. And first period would be like science. So it had nothing to do with, English or anything like that.
So, why do you have the time in and out subperiod?
So when they show up, you can hold Command Shift colon, and that puts the current time. So Command Shift colon, so that when they show up and they give me their pass, I put the time in, and then Command Shift colon when they leave, and then at the end, you give this to attendance, and they want it to be downloaded as a PDF and emailed to them. They want like a hard copy list. They don't want to be shared with this and all that stuff. Right?
So it's Control Shift what?
Yeah, it says it right there. Control Shift
That's
semicolon.
semicolon.
Yeah.
All right, and then so should I run? So if I pull everybody at the same time,
Yeah.
I just wait till the end.
Yeah.
Then I don't need to run this today. I should just wait and run it and call at the end.
Yeah. So when are you gonna do makeups?
Well, I was planning to do math and then do English, but what you're saying makes sense. Where you just do all of the ends.
Right. So when does the window close?
Not till the 23rd.
And you don't have anything like
So
in
next week, English is doing Tuesday, Wednesday next week, and then Thursday I was just going to start pulling people.
Yeah.
Friday, actually, start pulling people.
Yeah.
So Thursday make passes, and then Friday pull kids, and just do Friday, Monday.
Yeah.
Until we're done.
Yeah. The only thing I ran into about doing it on a Friday, which is what it is that a lot of people test on Fridays, so kids might miss a test.
Not too bad.
Right. And then, so if you want to do Monday, Tuesday, if you had time, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That might be better. But, so then you have, let's see. So
Well, so my problem is I only have second period, so I can only pull them for second.
So here's
and
my
then they have to go to
recommendation.
class.
My recommendation for you is, so where are you going to do the makeup?
In my room.
Oh, I would reserve the library, and do Chromebooks, or I would, if you do it Monday, you can use A6, but Tuesdays you can't. And the reason for that is then you have second period, so Glenn starts them first period, you do second, he comes back to anybody that finishes.
Okay.
That way you pull them one time, because kids are going to take longer, and you're going to end up pulling them 2 times out of second period, which they get the pass, they come, right? And so they've already lost 10 minutes, right? Yeah, so it really should be,
So library probably.
yes, library, and then you can pull 50 kids.
Right. I can pull all of them.
You can pull all of them.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so does Jane know how to run the passes? Because that's a thing. So that
I
might,
don't know if she's done that
yeah,
yet.
so maybe it's I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a batch. Anyway, there's a way to run it, so she should know how to do that anyway. So you might want to check with her so that you're not handing it to her, expecting them to be done, and then she has to figure it out. You might want to say, hey, there's a way to run passes that you run all of them together. You like put in kids into the system, and then it spits out all the passes. They cut them and they highlight them and they go. And so that was something that Melody had to learn, then Tyra had to learn. So the first time I did it with Melody, she didn't know how to do it, so it was learning. She handled it though. It's not a big deal, and then once it's done,
So it's not that hard.
no, it's not hard. It's like a process they have to know how to do, and you don't want it to be the morning of.
All right. If you have